a better goal than that. Unbelievable.
Welcome to Perth, this picturesque city featuring the Swan River and beautiful beaches tonight. For the first time, hosting the Matildas, a national sporting team that has captured the imagination of young boys and girls right across this great country. A team preparing for an assault on the Asian Cup. A team we can all be proud of. Our national sporting team, the Matildas, in action live from Perth here tonight on Fox Sports as they farewell Australia, heading off to the Asian Cup. They take on Thailand tonight. We're looking forward to bringing you all the action here from what normally is a very sunny Perth, but it's been uncharacteristically raining and cloudy. But at the moment, the rain has stayed away. Katie Gill and Jamie Harwell join me. Good evening, ladies and gents. Great to be here with you. And Katie, great occasion for the Matildas. The first time we see them here in Perth.
Yeah, I mean, as an adopted WA girl myself, it's great for the Matildas to be able to come here. I think it's been some time, and this is the first time that they've been in WA, so in front of a home crowd for both Lisa Devanna, Sammy Kerr and Lydia Williams.
And what makes it even more special tonight, Jamie, is Sam Kerr. She has captured the headlines over the last couple of years for all the right reasons, and she's been a star, a homegrown girl who tonight the fans are looking forward to seeing in the flesh for the first time for a national team.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Sammy's obviously been a huge inspiration to so many people here in the West. So many girls look up, and she's still so approachable. You could see the Twitter story, was it a couple of months ago, when a couple of kids knocked on the door for her, go and kick a ball about. Out she goes, and everyone loves it. So it's fantastic to see Sam back in Perth, albeit in the national colours this time, and I'm sure she'll be wanting to put on a big show. And
I'm told she'll be walking out with her niece tonight, so a very special occasion for the Kerr family. And Katie, we know that they're preparing for the Asian Cup. They've just come back from Portugal, where it was probably a little bit disappointing that they didn't win the tournament over there, the Algarve Cup, which they were favoured to win. But looking ahead to the Asian Cup, it's a tournament that the Matildas are expected to win. You won it with the Matildas back in 2010. They lost the final with you in the side as well in 2014. But they deserve their favouritism for this one. A lot of expectation on this squad.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they definitely do. They are the favourites, and it'll be a very interesting tournament to see how they go over there in Jordan. I think it'll be a very strong tournament. Most of the Asian teams are really in a rebuilding phase at the moment, and we seem to be at our prime, which is probably very favourable for us. But on the day, in major tournaments like that, you really need to perform. And given it's a tournament style, I mean, you've got to back up every second day, so it's a rigorous account that they have to go out there and do.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Great to see we've got a farewell game for the Matildas. We won't be getting one for the Socceroos. So tonight we celebrate that. The man who has become the voice of the Matildas over the last few years, Brenton Speed, is your match commentator tonight. We welcome him to the broadcast and we get the team news from Speedy. Hello, Speedy.
Yes, good evening, Zappers. The Matildas have set up camp here in the West for a while now, and they'll be here till next Saturday when they take off to Jordan to begin that Asian Cup campaign. So a great hit out, a farewell game in front of these fans from Perth. So no doubt the three West Australian players in the starting 11 are very excited indeed. Let's take a look at the team news for this encounter. So Lydia Williams, who grew up in Kalgoorlie, is the starting goalkeeper. Then you've got the attacking superstars, both from Freo way, Lisa Devanna and Sam Kerr. It's a great opportunity for teenage midfielder Alex Chidiac, who earns her 8th cap, while Larissa Crummer starts ahead of Ellie Carpenter in the right-back role. Let's check out how the visitors are lining up. It's the strongest 11 Thailand can name, with 2 stars to keep your eyes on. The number 13, Oratai, scored 2 of the 3 goals in their World Cup win over the Ivory Coast in 2015, while the number 17, Tanakan Dangda, is the sister of Tirasin Dangda. Now, of course, he scored 3 World Cup qualifier goals against the Socceroos, and she boasts Thailand's only ever goal against Australia. That was back in 2011 when they lost 5-1. We could see plenty of goals tonight, Zappers.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Speed. I think the last time they played was 5-1 to the Matildas. And joining us at the pod for this pre-game is Ellen Stajic, the coach of the Matildas. Thanks for joining us, Ellen.
No problems, Zappers.
Looking forward to tonight. I'm sure you are. You've had the women in camp now for a few days, and well, I think it's about 2 weeks in total. Just talk to us about the advantage of the camp in terms of preparing for this Asian Cup.
Yeah, look, of course, every international team doesn't get much time together, and days together are precious. Yeah, we've been together for 4 or 5 days here in Perth now, and we've really made the most of it, trying to get up to speed with the way we want to play, and trying to rehab some of the players that we've had who carried through the Algarve tournament.
Yep.
Alan, we're used to seeing Larissa Crummer as more of an attacking player, certainly through her W League career. What's the thinking behind playing her to right back this evening?
Yeah, look, at the moment where Hayley Russo is still recovering from her injury, so we're just trying to build a little bit of depth in that position. And obviously we've got Ellie Carpenter, who's done a good job there over the last year or so. But we're always just trying to look for a backup just in case Ellie gets injured, or or we need to give her a rest during the tournament. So Crummer has played there before, so we'll see how she goes. And she's done well there in the past, so hopefully she'll give it a good go tonight.
Stad, you got such a wealth of depth in your squad, and that's probably reflective of Alex Chiliak getting a start today. Has she just had a great W League and has been performing really well and earns a spot in there today?
Yeah, look, I think she's done well over a couple of years now and certainly deserves her spot. She's a good little technical player. Obviously, she's young and inexperienced, and hopefully a night like tonight, playing with a lot of key players. She hasn't really started a lot of games with our key players, so this will be a good opportunity for her to put her best foot forward and show that she can play with, with the combinations that we tend to start with over the last period of time.
What about your opponents tonight? They're ranked 30 in the world. What do you expect from them, and what's your message to the girls going out tonight?
Look, obviously we're playing this game tonight, but the big picture is preparing for career on April the 7th. So, we've got a lot of things in the back of our mind about improving our fluency, improving our rhythm. I thought at Algarve we technically weren't great. A lot of careless passing and our first touches weren't great. So, obviously there's a tactical element to the game, but you can't really enforce that unless the technical component's good. So we're really focusing on our first touch and our completion of passes today, and hopefully we can increase our possession rate tonight in tonight's game.
And on the Algarve Cup, what was your assessment and what are your biggest learnings from that?
Yeah, look, it was a tough competition. Obviously the weather wasn't great and it was tough going straight from W League to international. The players didn't really have a break, and on top of that we had a number of injuries going into the tournament. We had about 10 or 12 players who carried knocks, who were our contracted players. So that tested the depth a little bit, but certainly, as I said, there was a lot of things that we did well, but there was a couple of areas that crept in that we weren't really hitting our straps, and our completion of passes and our decision making on our ball and our execution in the front third wasn't very good. So hopefully we'll fix that up over the next week or two.
All right, all the best for the next 90 minutes. We'll probably speak to you after the game. Let's catch up with Claire Polkinghorne. She spoke to Brenton Speen a little bit earlier.
Well, Pox, you joined the exclusive Century Club in Portugal. What was that honour like?
Yeah, obviously it's a real privilege, and to join some of the great names that have made 100 caps for Australia is really special.
And 100 caps under your belt, but everyone seems to think you're playing your best ever football for the national team. Do you feel that way, and why is that, do you think?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good at the moment. Physically and mentally I'm in a good spot, and it's transferring to the field, which is awesome.
And it's a big night for the West Australians in your team, finally getting to play a game in Perth. Do you sense they're a little more excited than usual?
Yeah, I think so. They've been buzzing all week, and it's really nice to get over this side of the country, and hopefully we show them a good game.
We wish you well.
Awesome. Thanks very much.
Yeah, Speedy touched on it. Over 100 caps now for the Matildas. She's had an outstanding season in the W League, Katie, and the season didn't finish as they would have wanted. They finished on top of the table, Brisbane, didn't they, this year? And then they lost that semi-final to Melbourne City.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. For me, they were the team. They were a quality team all throughout the season, and just unfortunately they couldn't put it together in the finals campaign. But speaking about Claire Polkinghorne, I think she's in a bit of a purple patch. She's such a stalwart of this team, and I think while there's exceptional talent in this team, it's great when your mature players are really firing and really leading, and she's showing that. And I wish her all the best, actually. She's really loving her football at the moment, and it's great to see.
3 World Cups under her belt as well, Jamie Harmwell. That sort of experience is invaluable for a team like this preparing for a big tournament.
It is, and especially with the youth in this Matildas team as well. There's been so much made of the players like Van Egmond, Kerr, who are having to step up in these leadership roles. But to have Claire Polkinghorne as such an integral part, as a real leader through the back, through the middle as a centre half, as a strong physical character as well, is going to be invaluable for this team in the tournament.
All right, plenty more to come in our pre-game as we head to the break. Sam Kerr takes us on a tour of her Perth.
So we're in Freo at my favourite coffee shop. I come here almost every day. I'm with my teammate, Nikki Stanton. She also plays for Perth Glory, and we're just going to go have a light breakfast and a cup of coffee. I get the house breakfast, so not the bruschetta. They make it so good here. Breakfast was delicious. We're going to head to the beach now and grab my dog. This is my favourite beach. I love coming down with my dog, and she's ball crazy. I come here most days. Normally I have a swim, but it's a bit windy for me today. Go on. Look at her, she's waiting to be showered. So I've showed you where I have coffee in the mornings and what I do during the day at the beach with my dog, and this actually is where my footballing career all began. It's a little bit weird coming back here, but this is where it all started, under 12s with the boys, and I've had a lot of good footballing memories down here. I hope you enjoyed having a little bit of an insight into my day. Thanks for spending the day with me.
Goals ever for her country.
Welcome back to NIB Stadium in Perth as the Matildas prepare for their second win in an Asian Cup. Can they do it over in Jordan? Tonight is the farewell game. Sam Kerr, the star, the 24-year-old, 61 caps, 21 goals. Her international debut was at 15 years of age. Tonight, she gets the opportunity to play in front of her home crowd as a Matilda for the first time. Some other stars of this team, Kate and Jamie. Let's focus on Emily Van Egmond. She had another stellar season in the W League with the Newcastle Jets and has benefited from time spent overseas as well, playing in European leagues.
Yeah, Em, I mean, I grew up with Em playing in Newcastle. I can remember her as a 15-year-old, and she was a remarkable talent. And I think she's just matured over time, and she's really come into her own. And I think being overseas in Germany, playing in such a competitive and aggressive league, she's really got some exposure and some experience there. But she's also turned into a leader, which is fantastic to see. And she dominates, and she really holds her own in the midfield.
What about having her dad as part of the coaching staff? Does that help or hinder?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a hinder or a burden, but they seem to get on quite well, and I think Gary and her have a great relationship.
Yeah, indeed. And another star has emerged over the last few years in Chloe Lagazzo, that played at Sydney FC this year. Jamie also spent time in Europe, played in the UEFA Champions League this season gone. So that's an invaluable experience for a player like Chloe.
Yeah, some fantastic experiences, but I really think Lagazzo is a really inspiring story. At one stage, she had to leave Sydney FC. She was struggling to get into the W League side, went up to Newcastle and had a good season up there. And such an exciting player, has suffered some injury problems as well, but she brings so much to this side, a lot of pace, a lot of energy, and some real creativity as well.
Over 1,100 caps between them, Katie, tonight, this side. It's plenty of experience. Alan Stajic spoke about some of the young players coming through. What do you expect from this one? Last time they played, it was 5-1 for the Matildas.
Yeah, look, it's always interesting going into games like this. I mean, the Thais, they are technical. They're going to be good on the ball. They're going to want to keep possession. But I guess us wanting to attack and keep the ball and actually win and score goals, we just need to be patient and not get frustrated, because these are the types of games where you can have copious amounts of chances, but if you fail to find the back of the net, it can become a very frustrating day in the office.
They're currently ranked 4th in the world, Jamie, behind the US, Germany and England. It's very prestigious company, isn't it?
It's huge to think that the Matildas could rise so quickly, so rapidly over the past year or two. Has been fantastic, and I think Kate's right. It's a really good game now for Alan Stajic's time to decide how they're going to play. When teams want to sit back and they're going to make things compact and difficult, they've got to keep possession and create chances, but they've got to be wary they don't get caught on the counter-attack, and that's what the top nations have to do. They've got to find ways to break defences down and not concede easy goals.
A win for the Matildas for both of you?
Oh, I'd have to say that,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's uniform all around. We're expecting the Matildas to go out on a high note here in Perth. They're preparing for the Asian Cup, which is an 8-team tournament which doubles as a World Cup qualifier. They need to finish in the top 5 of that tournament to guarantee a spot in the World Cup. They're preparing for a big tournament in Jordan. Tonight, we look forward to seeing the Matildas in action yet again. Don't go away. After the break, your commentators, Sarah Walsh and Brenton Speed.
Welcome back to Perth. We're at NIB Stadium for the Matildas against Thailand, who had their supporters in the house the last time Australia faced Thailand in this country was way back in 2006 in the Asian Cup. Australia won 5-0 on that occasion. Australia have won all 4 meetings against the Thais, who themselves are building towards the Asian Cup, where they have a very attractive group and a real chance to go to a second straight World Cup finals. Listen to the excitement. It's the Matildas' 341st game and 39 years since their international debut. The people of Perth finally have the chance to cheer them on. Emily van Egmond leading Australia out tonight. And Sunisa, the left back, is the skipper for Thailand. Plenty of smiles, as always, from the team in gold. Well, the Australian sporting public are looking for a national team to love and trust and play with integrity, and here they are, the Matildas, this country's favourite team, playing in the West for the first time ever. What an occasion for this young lady, the young Australian of the year, Sam Kerr, who's been banging in the goals for fun over the last 12 months. 12 goals in 7 straight internationals before her streak was finally halted in Portugal at the recent Algarve Cup. So the team's in position. Stand by for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthems of Thailand and Australia.
Always sung with such pride by the Matildas. And Sam Kerr sharing that moment with her niece as well, the mascot today. The Asian Player of the Year, the Julie Dolan medalist. She's done it all, and she hopes to score in front of her home fans tonight. Let's check the team news. And There are 3 West Australian-born players in the team. Lydia Williams in goal, Sam Kerr and Lisa Devanna. What an opportunity for them to finally play in Perth. Alex Chidiac is one of the surprising selections, a great opportunity for the 19-year-old who so impressed for Adelaide in the recent W-League season, a former grand final winner with Melbourne City as well. Elise Cowan-Knight plays in the left-back role. We have seen her in midfield before, but there's no Steph Catley at the moment for Australia. Larissa Crummer is the right-back tonight as Ellie Carpenter is left on the bench. Here's a look at the opposition tonight for Australia. Warraporn in goal and Tanakan Dangda, the 25-year-old. She's got 9 goals in 17 appearances for her country. She's the sister of Tirasin Dangda, who has scored 3 goals in World Cup qualifiers against the Socceroos. And Oratai was their hero at the 2015 World Cup. Here's the substitutes available. Australia's bench a little thin, with 4 players in the squad named for the upcoming Asian Cup unavailable tonight, including the likes of Kaya Simon. Perth-born Ivy Lewick will be hoping to get game time. She hasn't featured for the national team since 2015. It's been a bleak old couple of days in the west. A little bit of rain around. Current temperature just in the early 20s. Ideal football conditions for the Matildas to show their stuff. Alan Stajic, 50 games in charge now for Australia. His record 30 wins, 10 draws and 10 defeats in those first 50 games in charge. About to take Australia to the Asian Cup again. Nguyen Gru Thai is Thailand's first ever female coach. As her second stint in charge, she succeeded Spencer Pryor last year after the Englishman resigned. And her first stint came back in 2014 and 15. She took them to the World Cup. Our referee tonight is the vastly experienced Kate Jackowitz. All those W-League grand finals under her belt, and she was the 4th official in the A-League game here yesterday, keeping Kenny Lowe and Kevin Muscat under wraps. 70th cap today for Emily Van Egmond. She'll be playing for the Orlando Pride in the US this year under former Matildas boss Tom Samani and alongside Alana Kennedy. There is the superstar. Plays for the Perth Glory in the W-League. Look at all those goals in the last season. Whichever shirt she pulls on, she tends to find the back of the net. I just wonder if it's too greasy for the backflip tonight. If she gets a couple of goals, we wait and see. There's young Alex Chidiac, hoping to play in Europe this year after the Asian Cup. Really has focused on football. Her dream was to play for the Matildas from a young age. Left school in year 10 to pursue that dream. And here she is, racking up another cap. Countdown is on. Finally, the Matildas construct their stuff in Perth. Right on the front foot immediately. Chidiac looking for Kerr. What a start that would have been. It was on too, Sarah Walsh.
Hi, Speedy. Great to be here. Look at the crowd. And they have got off to a quick start. You can see Matildas exposing that space in between the back line and the midfield for Thailand. You can see how quick the ball is today. I guess the team that does that best, controlling that in this wet. I think the conditions definitely suit the Matildas with the speed they have up top. So Thailand will definitely need to be on their game.
And Kerr latches onto a misplaced pass. Here's Larissa Crummer. She won a W-League Golden Boot a few years ago as a striker with Melbourne City, and here she is playing in the right-back role.
Well, we did hear from Alan Stajic before the match, and he's been known for playing her at right-back plenty of times, and I think she does play it quite well. And it's made her a better player playing up top, understanding that defensive duty. So I'm not surprised to see her here today. and the importance of this match, being able to see how players, how well they step up when rotated, because it's going to take the entire squad of 23 to win the tournament over in Jordan.
Yeah, only 2 rest days between those group games. It all kicks off live on Fox Sports, of course, on April 7, Saturday week against South Korea. Really tough group for the Aussies. Vietnam in game 2, and then Japan, former World Cup winners, in the final group game. You want to finish top 2 in that group, it means you'll be going to the World Cup next year. Otherwise, if you finish 3rd in the group, it's a cutthroat game coming your way. Here's Kanjana. Will she get there? Not quite. Just ran out of real estate, but she's a dangerous player. What about this goal scoring record for the 31-year-old? 30 goals, 48 caps.
No, she's one to look out for today. Kanjana, she scored an amazing goal against China, caught them out at the back line in their last tournament over in China. You watch her, she'll be definitely looking to play off the shoulder of Alana Kennedy.
Chidiac, real technical player. Slides it out to Kellen Knight, who was trying to play Lagazo in. An awkward one for Waruni.
I'm really excited to see how Thailand play tonight. Been watching them develop over the years, and in my opinion, they're in the top 4 nations for technical ability in the AFC, I believe. They've always had this great technical ability. I think where they've lacked is their structure, discipline and shape without the ball, and I think it's really hurt them at times. She's either rolled her ankle here. Waruni. But they're a very exciting team to watch. As I said, on the ball, they're very, very comfortable.
And they are Thailand's golden generation. Oh, that's when it got awkward. Just hit her foot at the wrong time and turned the ankle as a result. Should be able to run it off, hopefully. The 27-year-old who's closing in on 50 caps. But they defend with 10 right now. Tanakan has dropped into the right back role. Kerr out to Kellen Knight. Trying to get one across the face deep towards Devana, but off the outside of the boot.
I think something the Matildas have to work on today is trying to expose the back line. A lot of the times when Thailand play their back 4, they stay put and they rarely move on their fullbacks. So there's generally not that space in behind. So they're really going to have to work to break this back 4 down.
Kennedy keeping it in. Almost looked like she'd sold Polkinghorne into trouble, but it rolled nicely to the veteran centre half, who brought up her 100th cap for Australia at the recent Algarve Cup. There's Kellen Knight, one to chase for Kerr. She's in behind and onside. Sam Kerr looking to pick out a teammate. Eluded Gorry in the middle. So unselfish from Sam Kerr. She might have been able to take that on and bend one in.
Well, the shot was on, wasn't it?
Well read by Chidiac. Van Egmond. Lagazo was demanding it. Now Chidiac again, trying to play Kerr in. Just sliding away, but what about the skill from Sam Kerr? Giving us a little nutmeg out there on the left wing.
Yeah, it was really cheeky. She cut that back in. You can see she's just found space in between the 2 centre-backs, and it's not great marking from Thailand, but she's then been able to kill her with a nutmeg here. But she's absolutely got to have the shot there.
Lagazo again taking off and presenting an option ahead of Kellen Knight. Went back inside to Van Egmond. Polkinghorne punches one to Crummer. Here's Devana, very popular figure here in the West. Even though she was playing for Sydney FC in the last W League season. Crummer was onside there, picking up Chidiac! First goal for her country. The teenager making the most of a start on this stage. What a moment for Alex Chidiac.
Well, this is sensational skill shown here from Alex Chidiac, the first touch in the wet. You can see here, questionable offside from Larissa Kramer. She's made the run outside. And it's a call there that probably needed to be made, but the first touch, obviously off the chest, hit it first time, bottom right. Great to see the youngsters stepping up. But again, yeah, this is offside for me. Look at the skill here from Lisa Devana. 3 players drawn out. That's 3 players less in the box to pick up Alex Chidiac here. And smack.
Real awkward height for Chidiac to control that ball. Just wonder whether the arm was involved or not. If she didn't get the arm involved, it's quite extraordinary.
But she's managed to actually keep that down and set herself up for the first hit. But again, no appeal from Thailand for the offside.
Yeah. Yeah, the assistant was getting the run around as well out on this near side, Renee Coghill.
But you could see that's probably a defensive lapse from Thailand. Probably didn't need to send 3 players out. They had 2 for cover on Lisa Devana, and that overlapping run had drawn an extra player out of the box.
Very single-minded young lady, Alex Chidiac. Her dream was always to represent the Matildas. Once she got to see them in action, focused on playing for her country, and here she is doing it regularly now. Featured at the Algarve Cup and bangs home her first goal.
Well, that will do wonders for her confidence. Really been waiting to see her step up, and as Alan Stajic said in the pre-match, it's very different coming on as a substitute in matches. She's been given the starting position, and that shows a huge amount of confidence in the player and faith, and she's taken that onto the pitch. Been waiting for it to... There's something about her that's been missing for me. You know, there's aggressive nature in her game. She's been a little bit passive, and not then. She tacked that ball. Some really good early signs from the youngster.
And hoping to get that contract in Europe. Nice little video to show some potential suitors. Here I am scoring for the Matildas. You know, the team ranked 4th in the world right now. Starting for them in Perth and showing off the skills. Here she is again. Awkward one for Kennedy. It breaks for Van Egmond, and now the Matildas can work their way out again. Alana Kennedy will remain with the Orlando Pride. Steph Catley's moved on from that team, but she's picked up another Aussie teammate in Emily Van Egmond this season in the States, and star-studded lineup as well with the likes of Marta and Alex Morgan at that club as well.
That's a very strong squad.
Nice skill from Orotai, getting it out to Tanakan. Trying to get the 1-2 going with Silawan, but Alana Kennedy was having none of that. Now the pace of Kerr, trying to go shoulder to shoulder, and it's well defended by Natakan.
Well, she read that really well, got there early.
Chidiac again, good strength on the ball. Back to Kerr. Oh, what a pass. Found an angle somehow to Lagazo. Gorry could afford to let that run to Crummer. Now Devana tried the trick to release Minnie, and there was nothing doing. Really is isolated Kanjana. Both Polkinghorne and Kennedy worked it out. A little too much on that one from Van Egmond.
Well, you can see that Thailand dropped very, very deep, and they do play one up top, as you said.
Well, she saw it. It was only a step offside. It was really fast play and tough for the assistant to keep an eye on all that was going on there, because Australia were working it nicely, but They took full toll.
Yeah, I think Lisa Devana hasn't played it in time there. The run was excellent.
Here's Kanjana dropping that little bit deeper. Chidiac hit Kerr early. Devana's not going to be able to run onto that one.
Well, Thailand are definitely going to have to work this out quickly. If they're going to drop and allow Sam Kerr to have that space in front of the back line, their number 6, P. Goon, is definitely going to have to start picking her up.
Hooked in by Devana, and then the shout of keeper came from Waraport. 88th cap today for Thailand's number 1. Kawa Knight read it early. Just got away from her, and then they're coming together with Pigun. Those two back to their feet in a hurry. Little low 5, and they just get on with things, which fans really admire about the women's game. Chidiac gets past a couple. Still Alex Chidiac. Good vision, Lagazo. Gorry found Devana. Cross on her right, boots a beauty. Oh, Kerr! The header fired into her opponent, who was in the right place at the right time. Now another chance for Kerr, who was onside. Great pick out from Van Egmond. Well, 2 rapid-fire opportunities for Sam Kerr.
Well, what I loved about this play was the rotation, the recycle of movement in the box. You can see it didn't come off the first time. Then Sam Kerr readjusted a run to stay onside. Got good connection, just not enough power.
We have seen some fabulous headers from Kerr in recent times in green and gold. Devana putting herself about there. Tuang Napa feeling the effects. Eyes for the ball from Devana, and then Tuang Napa came the other way. Came off second best, but did get the whistle.
See a raised boot there from Lisa Devana. You could see that Thailand's tactics are to stay quite compact. And you think the only way that really Australia are able to get through is actually use their width, and they've been able to do that so far, getting Lisa Devana out wide. You can see their starting positions have been quite wide. Same with Chloe Lagazo on the left, which is really, it's actually keeping Sam Kerr isolated, but she's not marked in the middle.
Nguyen Grutai, the Thai coach, just confirming whether they're going to be forced to make a change here. They prefer to keep their first choice back 4 alive. Here was Kerr's first header, and Waruni got herself in the way somehow.
What about the air that she gets and the power that she generates from the technique? Really makes it look very easy. And she also has to create the space to be able to get that free header.
Swanisa. Thailand defending with 10 right now. Wondering whether Tuang Napa will be able to rejoin the party. Setting up 4-4-1 defensively right now, with Pigun dropping into that central defensive role, left vacated. Well done, Sunisa. Second effort as well from the skipper, throwing herself about, and got a little nudge from Gorry.
They're not shying away from the challenges. So you're getting that second ball, friendly fire here.
Good refereeing that. Spotted that Gorry nudged Sunisa just as she was taking off. That's why the friendly fire occurred. The skipper right to go on. Looks like Thailand are going to make a change, so that's Unfortunate for them. Not showing much urgency. The replacement just taking a sip of water before heading towards the halfway line. Pitsamai will be with us shortly.
Well, this is not good for Thailand. Duan Napa, one of the most experienced backs, centre backs.
Here comes that change. Pitsamai should slot in like for like. She's experienced as well. Debuted as a 17-year-old. Still going strong 12 years later. She actually won the Golden Boot in the Thai Premier League back in 2009 as an attacker. But she slots into the heart of defence here.
They actually played a friendly against some local teams here the other day, and she was starting. So she's familiar with the position, but it's very hard to replace that. Well, the former captain actually for Thailand, Duang Napa.
They're currently number 30 in the world FIFA rankings, Thailand. One of their greatest achievements was winning the 1983 Asian Cup on home soil. Won all 6 games in that tournament. 25 goals to 1 was the aggregate score for Thailand on that occasion.
They've actually more recently have had some big wins, so I think they're definitely looking really good to pick up one of the qualifying spots in Jordan.
When they qualified for the last World Cup, a lot more money was poured into the Thai women's football team. And it's great for them to be able to come down to Australia and face this opposition so close to the Asian Cup. Now Devana to Kerr, clever back heel. Devana trying to get there and does. Chidiac rolling away from it. Back to Lagazo, who hoped a teammate was behind it. And Pitsamai gets her first touch.
Well, I'm just loving the intent shown by Alex Chidiac. She's definitely making herself known, wants to be on the ball, and making those early runs forward.
Good scrapping by Lagazo to keep it alive. Well, it never went out of play, according to the assistant. Thailand thought it was their throw, so it's handball, free kick Australia. Got a play to the whistle. Waruni thought she'd seen it cross the line.
You don't see that very often.
We saw it in a World Cup, didn't we, with Australia in 2011, and they got away with it, picking up the ball in the box. Should have been a penalty. Australia never got it against Equatorial Guinea.
It was a very bizarre passage of play.
And Egmond and Kellen Knight just sorting out the defensive responsibilities. Should this be cleared by Thailand and a counter is launched. Goes in deep. Oh, Kerr was getting there. Devana tried the volley. We've seen it before, haven't we, in Penrith? Didn't get the right connection that time. How dangerous is Kerr, though, aerially?
Well, you can see how much focus she demands, and Warapon's done a great job to actually clear it first time.
That's the standards that Devana sets herself. She expects to put that in the top corner. Australia's greatest ever goal scorer, winning it back here. Getting it to Gorry. Little chip inside, dealt with. Now can Thailand play their way out? Orotai goes long. Should be coming back via Van Egmond. Nonchalant little flick over the top of Orotai. Lagazo looking for a free kick and gets it. She had to wait a long time for her first international goal. It finally came in Geelong against China, and then found another couple at the Algarve Cup, and that's got to please Alan Stajic big time. The fact that goals are now coming for Lagazo, such a talented player. Now Gorry finds Lagazo, who thought Kerr might want it to feet. She was going the other way.
Well, again, that was great defence from Thailand. They really forced the pass there for Chloe Lagazo, who didn't have any options on. Very, very compact, this back four. What Australia are doing really well, as I said, they're pushing out their wide players, which is creating so much space for Katrina Gorry and Alex Chidiac to run through the middle.
Not the best clearance from Pitsamai. Well done, Waruni. Dived into the challenge on Lagazo. Kellen Knight trying to keep it in. What a versatile player, at least Kellen Knight is. Playing that left-back role, can anchor midfield, the brains of the team. And here she is, winning it back. Voted into the FIFA All-Star team at the last 2 World Cups in those 2 different positions. Left back in 2011 and as a midfielder in 2015 in Canada. Quarter of the game gone. Australia in front thanks to Alex Chidiac's early strike. Not much action in Australia's defensive third. Polkinghorne, that pass read by Oratai. Look at the touch from Van Egmond. The ball getting away from a few players, but not Australia's number 10. Well read by Pigun. Oratai on the chase for Tanikan Dangda. So much possession for Australia, nudging 70% right now. Haven't been as fluent as Alan Stajic would like in the final third.
No, well, I think they've got to think differently and tactically. Well, there's a huge tactical play happening here. Thailand, as I said, they're so well structured, and it's something they've changed about their game. And discipline in defence. So without the ball, you can see they drop into two rows of 4, and at times just one up top. So there's an extra player in. It's so hard to break down. So it's more about, okay, how can Australia show patience and actually move them around to really create the spaces where they need to? And you can see they've been switching it left, switching it to right. They've shown patience. But occasionally they're forcing that final ball into Sam Kerr where it's just too tight.
Gorry able to turn and face forwards.
And these are the skills that you actually have to develop when you head off to an Asian Cup, because it's very, very different to a World Cup. The way Asians teams play, they're set up structurally so disciplined. And they're really, really hard to break down, so patience is key.
We always talk about the group of death at a World Cup. What about the group that Australia found themselves in at the Asian Cup? Quite incredible. South Korea, Japan and Australia all lobbed in the same group. The draw was in Jordan. And on the other side of the draw, a Thailand or a Jordan will be feeling very confident about perhaps going to a World Cup. Oh, Tavana snuck in at the back post. And again, she can't believe it. There's a bit of anxiety tonight about trying to score in front of her home fans.
No, absolutely. That would be on the top of mind for her, but this is a right foot. And she knows it. She's trying to get that one on her favoured foot. She's on the left side. That's a goal. Top right corner. Look at the press here from the Matildas.
One back by Lagazo. Can she find an angle? Just the little deflection didn't favour Chidiac. Lagazo gets it on the deck. Savannah, this attack pretty narrow. And Gorry. The last Asian Cup year in 2014, she was named Asian Player of the Year, scoring spectacular goals from that kind of range, but that was a little optimistic.
Well, she didn't really have any other options on. As I said, Thailand was set up really well. But watch again the press here from the Matildas. There is no other team in the world that presses like the Matildas. This is where they will set up their, I guess, their prospects to win the World Cup in 2019 will be off the back of this press.
Sam Kerr asking the referee to give them the hurry up. Now they can press again. hopeful ball is easily brought down by Polkinghorne. Chidiac. Just too much on it. She expected Kelwyn Knight to continue her run, but the veteran had paused at the wrong time. Australia just calmly stroking it around now, trying to hope that Thailand might be drawn out a little. Kanjana left alone up top. And there's Waruni in the back of Lagazo. A real competitor is Thailand's number 9. Been involved in plenty tonight.
Yeah, I think she's done a really good job on Chloe Lagazo. It's quite rare that she's been beaten in behind, but you can see how tight she is up on the defence there. Too tight this time. But it's interesting, she only has defensive duties. Very rarely will you see her go forward.
Yep, never scored in her 44 previous internationals. Kerr was hoping it might get through to her. Good defensive header clear. Lagazo tried to poke it away. First time they've had the ball around halfway in a while, Thailand, but eventually the turnover came. Now Gorry keeps Australia on the front foot. Devanna looking for Kerr. Nutsakan is having to do so much defensive work. Plenty of clearances from Thailand's number 3. And switched sides since Tuang Napa went off. Again, there's Waruni getting into the challenge again.
See how well Thailand shift across. They won the ball here because of it. There's really no space in between, or if there is, Australia really haven't been able to expose them in these areas just yet. A couple times early on in the match.
There's Lagazo talking to Jakowitz, saying enough of the treatment from Waruni, and the referee agrees. First booking of the night goes to Thailand's right back. 2 challenges from behind in quick succession.
I think she is quite tight on Chloe Lagazo. It's the second, third time. There you go. Chloe asks, so Chloe gets.
Lagazo wasn't even fuming about getting no advantage there. She just wanted Waruni in the book so she doesn't have her ankles smashed anymore. Clever ball, Kelwyn Knight, Devanna. Good challenge, well timed by Pitsamai, and now they might be away. Kanjana. Ball out of play, unfortunately. This lady scored both goals against Vietnam, who were the host country of the 2014 Asian Cup. We were there, Walshy, and we thought Vietnam were strong favourites to beat Thailand on home soil, but Kanjana came up with both goals, and Thailand went to the World Cup instead.
Oh, such a joy to watch. As you said, the home crowd were absolutely devastated, but this team, it's just been so exciting to watch their progression over the years. I remember back in Asian Cup in 2006, I was just talking about off air that Lisa Devanna and I, they'd approached the match playing a very high line on the halfway mark. Lisa Devanna and I had to take turns in getting behind.
Running onto the balls over the top. Both scored on that day, Devanna and Walsh. Here's Gorry. Plays it to Kerr. Sam Kerr! And well done. Guarding her near post, Waraport, to deny a very popular goal here.
Waraport definitely keeping the team in the match. She closed off the near post here, but you can see Sam Kerr stayed onside. But again, unmarked out here. Takes that first touch forward and strikes it first time.
Kerr will just file that one away. Cowan Knights, free header. Chance and cleared off the line by Warraporn. As Van Egmond looked to stroke it home. What a ball that is. And Devanna from point-blank range heads over. 3 chances in 5 seconds for the Aussies.
Well, what about this touch here from Sam Kerr? But first, the header from Alana Kennedy. I don't know how that one didn't go in. This touch here, beautiful from Sam Kerr to keep that alive. It's actually a lot harder to do. Get that over the bar from point-blank range, Lisa Devanna. Again, Warrapan had put pressure on her.
What a peach of a ball from Cowan Knight on her right boot to pick out Devanna like that. Clever ball, that over the top, but it's going to get away again from Kanjana just. Really nice idea from Oratai. Really does pull the strings in midfield. She's actually a former Thai futsal captain, and she flip-flops between futsal and football. That's great talent. Of course, Tom Rogic, the Socceroos superstar, was a fantastic futsal player before going to the outdoor game as well. So if you're a young player watching this, think about a bit of futsal cross-training with your outdoor football.
She has a very frustrating role in this team. You can see how isolated she is, and she has speed to burn. So every now and again she's getting a pass that it's a bit stray.
Lovely link up here. Breaks down from Gorry, but Devanna picks up the scraps. Still she goes, Lisa Devanna. And scrapping still. Great persistence, and tried to play in Kerr, I think.
Well, you can see the frustration building here for Lisa Devanna. You're 100% correct, Speedy. She's playing in Perth for the first time in front of her family. Here again, just the tenacity to win this ball. 3rd, 4th, 5th time. It's back again on her non-favoured foot. That's on the left. I think maybe she needs to have a switch, change things up on the left. There's no doubt she is desperate to score tonight.
And she's got seniority. She could just call Lagazo over, do you think? Orchestrate that little rotation of wingers. Chidiac keeps on searching for it, putting the pressure on Silawan. What about that touch from Kennedy over her shoulder? Dragged it out of the sky. Familiar with this stadium, of course, a former Perth Glory player. Most recently of Melbourne City, winning that grand final. Oh, Devanna tried the scorpion to play in Kerr. Going all Rene Agita on us. The Colombian goalkeeper. Of course, the Socceroos face Colombia on Wednesday morning. Looking forward to that game as the Aussies look to bounce back.
Well, I don't actually think Alan Stajic would be overly pleased with what he's seen here in these build-ups, their attack. Marissa Crummer had made an amazing run out wide.
Oh, Lagazo finally had some clear galloping room outside of Waruni, and then the stumble came at the wrong time. An amazing sight here at NRB Stadium. The crowd really packed in on that far side. Terrific turnout on a Monday night. Kick-off 6 p.m. local time here in the West. Gorry, so tough to knock off the ball. Kennedy thought about it. They have got to 70% in the possession category, Australia. Now, Van Egmond searching for Devanna. Good duel. And again, Natakan did enough.
Well, Duang Napa, Pidsama and Natakan have done an excellent job. These two centre-backs at dictating play have been very, very well organised. So I'm not sure that ball was on from Alana Kennedy. It was, again, forced.
Devanna nearly made it work, didn't she, by going up and trying to chest it down. A lot easier said than done. Lagazzo told to turn. Didn't get the touch she was after. Talking it over with her roommate, Lisa Devanna, right now. They're on the same side of the pitch. Really good mates off the pitch, those two. Now, Devanna can't play Chidiac in. Gee, that's calmly done, isn't it? That kind of turn in her own defensive third from Pitsamai. Rubbing Devanna's nose in it.
Oh, an amazing technical display here from Thailand to play out of trouble like that. Well, that was an absolutely stunning display of football there to play out of their back. Created something up in their final third, but again, it's just that final pass, and I think when you've only had 30% possession, that's the effect of it right there. Tired legs, tired decisions when it matters. But again, they're isolated. You can see Ori Tar and Kanjana are the only two players beyond the line of defence.
It's good to see Lydia Williams get a touch. It's been a little quiet back there in goal for Australia. Now Crummer, not quite able to get it past Natakan. Olkinghorn pushing into Thailand territory. Kellen Knight. Three Thai players converged around her. No look pass from Van Egmond to Chidiac. Devanna has gone out to that left-hand side. Combining with Kellen Knight, looking for Kerr. Couldn't quite get over the top of it. Clever ball, Crummer. Allows Kerr to turn. Fabulous! Oh, Devanna. So much anxiety in front of goal. Sam Kerr put it on a platter, and Australia's top goal scorer of all time couldn't stroke it home.
Oh, my, this was beautiful to watch. This no-look pass here from Sam Kerr, but the ball in from Larissa Crummer was absolutely gorgeous. And Lisa Devanna in front of goal on a plate. Oh, it was absolutely stunning to watch. Looked like a training drill, and the clinical nature of the passes, the touches. Deserved a better end, didn't it,
yeah.
Speedy?
She had an opportunity in that W League Grand Final as well for Sydney FC. Might have been a different story if Devanna had scored when Sydney FC were dominating in the opening exchanges, but then Melbourne City recorded that historic three-peat. Little stab from Gorry intended for Crummer. Kanjana, full of running, but so's Polkinghorn. Rounded her up. Sends it back to Lydia Williams, who grew up in Kalgoorlie. 29-year-old goalkeeper who used to have the wallaby and the kangaroo as pets when she was living out Kalgoorlie way, before moving to Canberra as an 11-year-old. Kerr never gives up the chase, but harmlessly through to Warraporn. And Egmont killing it for Gorry. Chidiac's done a lot of nice things tonight, not just the goal. Here she is again, sliding it through to Lagazzo. Kellen Knight made the run, was ignored, and it all got too tight for Lagazzo, who has drifted inside a lot tonight. Oratai can't find Kanjana, throws her head back in frustration.
You just talked about Larissa Crummer. She has been getting forward a lot, but she hasn't been able to overlap because Lisa Devanna has been playing out wide. But I can't imagine what that would be like as a natural number 9 playing at right back. She must be itching to get up higher.
Lagazzo, Kerr. Lagazzo continues her run. Chance here.
Davana! She gets her goal in front of the Western Australian fans. And she says thanks very much to her roommate, Chloe Lagazzo, who put it on the platter. And this time, Australia's greatest ever goal scorer gets number 44.
Well, Waruni, this is the one time she couldn't keep up with the pace of Chloe Lagazzo, and they'd really managed to break him open this time with clinical movement. And then it only just looked like a training run. The 1-2 here from, and the timing of the ball from Sam Kerr. Put across beautifully. Finished by Lisa Davana. Finally, you can see the relief on her face. Maybe she'll be able to just play now.
Yeah, she's had to wait for her 133rd cap to play in front of her home fans in the West. And when you're watching that replay, some people might say, is that offside? But it's not, because she was behind the ball when it was played. Now Davana, Kerr, chance for the two Western Australians to score in quick succession. And Kerr put it wide.
You can see she did have a wry smile, but you need to put these away. You might not get too many in Jordan. And again, on Lisa's non-favoured foot, ball was great. They've managed to get him behind again. They're having a lot of joy when they can finally actually break open the play and get him behind.
Kelwyn Knight gets there in time. Lisa Davana went past Kate Gill as Australia's greatest ever goal scorer at last year's Tournament of Nations. Now she's up to 44. She was hoping to beat Tim Cahill to 50 for her country, but of course Timmy got there first. Now Crummer, little 1-2, very effective from Gorry. Good closing down by Sunisa.
1 point then, Australia were just playing a 3-7. Look at the players forward.
Great ball in. They've got another one. And she returns the favour. Lisa Davana to Chloe Lagazzo. Thank you very much, she says. It's going to be a fun night. Tough for them to get to sleep tonight in the room. They're scoring goals for fun.
There was a huge amount of conviction in this play. The ball had a silly amount of pace on it, and the header was well timed. As I said, something like 7 yellow shirts in the box for Thailand to deal with. There's not too many defences that can deal with the ball in like that.
What a smile from the 25-year-old who waited until November to get her first goal in green and gold. And now she's got 4 in 5 months.
No, it's good to see. For a long time when she started, she played as a 10. And she always hesitated to go forward with the ball first. And I never thought that she was probably positive enough with the ball. But in the position she's playing now, she's got freedom to roam out wide. And I think something that we don't talk about a huge amount is the rotation between these top 3. They have got it down pat. And it's just second nature.
And of course, if fit and available, Caitlin Ford would probably be part of that front 3. Instead, she'll be part of Fox Sports' team for the upcoming Asian Cup. But Chloe Lagazzo has been a very handy addition. If Caitlin Ford's not there, then she can play in that front 3.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't necessarily mean that Caitlin Ford will play there because, you know, we've seen Alan Stajic play her right back a lot as well. So depending on what the team needs at the time, what the tournament, what's happening with injuries, the fact that he can play Chloe Lagazzo and get this kind of performance from her is excellent. I think everything's just building towards 2019. If Chloe Lagazzo can stay fit, she's only going to build that confidence up in that final third.
Scored some stunning goals late in the season for Sydney FC as well, did Lagazzo. And really took that header off Sam Kerr. That's why she went to apologise. Really attacked it and got there ahead of Australia's number 20. Oh, that was bound for Kerr, wasn't it? Until Pitsamai flicked it on.
Well, this is going to be tough for Sam Kerr. There's like 4 blue shirts around her, so she's not going to be the obvious choice for service. Not the case for set pieces, though.
We're playing 3 minutes of stoppage time after that earlier injury to Tuang Napa. And Egmont deep. Keeper didn't deal with it. Kennedy had a chance, but there was a push spotted on the keeper by Devanna.
You're right, the keeper didn't come out. Warapon, well, she did, and it's mistimed.
Good pick up by the referee with the hand draped over the keeper's shoulder by Devanna. Scored in 3 straight World Cups as Lisa Devanna, just like Tim Cahill. Both are hoping to do it at a 4th straight World Cup. Devanna hoping to get her chance in France in 2019, and Timmy Cahill hoping to go to Russia with the Socceroos and do it.
Well, I think much like Timmy, she's actually had to transform her game as she's got a little bit older. You know, she's a lot sorer after game day, and especially in a tournament. There's no way she could play the full 90 minutes in each of the matches throughout an entire tournament. So the way that you use it is going to have to be very strategic.
Oh, getting a nutmeg. Fans appreciating that skill from Sunisa. Always looked like Australia had goals in them tonight. Alex Chidiac got the first. We had to wait a while for the next, but then they came quickly. The teenager opened the scoring, Alex Chidiac, and then the roommates got involved. Chloe Lagazzo to Lisa Devanna, and Devanna to Lagazzo. That's why we have this scoreline at half-time of Australia 3, Thailand 0. Let's get down to Zappers.
Yeah, thanks, Speedy. Lisa Devanna, one of the stars of the first half. Looked like it wasn't going to be your night there. Did you get the sense you're a bit frustrated there?
Yeah, I think I could have had a hat-trick, but, you know, keep working, be persistent and eventually come.
Was that one of the key things, just to maintain patience? They sat quite deep and you found it hard to break them down.
Yeah, look, we expected Thailand to be very defensive and have numbers behind the ball. And, you know, when you come across teams like that, it's all about breaking them down and having combination plays up front. And, you know, I think we're doing quite well considering the amount of possessions we have.
Well done. Look forward to seeing you in action in the second half.
No worries, thank you.
All right, Lisa Devanna with an outstanding first half, a goal and an assist for the Matildas. Don't go away, plenty more to come after this break. Kate Gill and Jamie Harmwell to join me to go through that first 45. Australia leading Thailand by 3-0. Welcome back to NIB Stadium here in Perth. The Matildas on their farewell tour before they head over to Jordan for the Asian Cup, and they're in control against Thailand. They lead by 3-0 in an entertaining first half, dominated by Lisa Devanna and Sam Kerr. We look forward to what was going to be another 45 minutes of entertaining football, no doubt. But joining me to talk about that first half, Katie Gill and Jamie Harnwell. They didn't waste any time, did they? It was nice and early, and Ellen Stajic spoke to us in the pre-game about some selections, and Alex Chidiac, a youngster, he showed a lot of faith in her, and she repaid that big time early on.
Yeah, debut start there. I think it's 6 years since the South Aussies found the back of the net for the Matildas, and didn't she do it really well? I mean, she's been dominant in there from the start of the game. It was a great ball in from Lisa Devanna. All she did was just hold it up here, and I think Larissa Crummer made the overlapping run, clever little back heel, great ball into the box, and Chidiac's tagged in a fantastic first touch and then a magnificent finish as well.
Yeah, terrific, and Lisa Devanna was involved in that one. A little bit of question of an offside on this one, but perhaps they got away with one there, Jamie Harnwell.
I think so. Luckily there's no VAR in these internationals, but it was good work, good combination, and it showed the benefit of playing Larissa Crummer at the right fullback, which we questioned before the game.
And Lisa Devanna having quite a few chances, and Speedy spoke about it in the call. Perhaps the expectation for her in front of her home crowd wanting to score. just played on her mind a little bit.
Well, there's certainly a couple of great chances that she'd had just before that well, she'd butchered, really, let's be honest about it. They were good chances for a player of Lisa Devana's quality, but a well-taken finish after a good Lugazzo ball.
And Chloe Lugazzo, a header that Kate Gill would have been proud of, Kate.
Oh, most definitely, man. Lisa Devana's turn provider here. It's a great run in the box from Chloe. She's just attacked it. She's nipped in front of Sammy there, and all it needed was a touch.
Yeah, her fourth goal for the Matildas, Chloe Lugazzo. They really worked well together, those two, especially for those last two goals. They had plenty of chances, didn't they, the Matildas, in that first 45. Thailand did sit back and make them earn it. And one of the keys, I suppose, as Lisa said coming off, Kate, was to ensure they were patient in their build-up.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, it can get very frustrating, as you said, with the Thais sitting off. And if they're not patient and they don't pick their moments and they don't take their chances, then it can be a very frustrating game that they have to play.
Jamie, what did you make of the way the Matildas went about it? The first 10 minutes, they created some wonderful opportunities, then some frustration for the next 20 or 30.
There was. It got a little bit scrappy, and I'm sure Alan Stajic will be trying to address that at half-time. It's difficult to play against a team when they do put so many people back behind the ball, so many players in and around the penalty box. But the Matildas continue to work the ball, and as we see some of the chances that Lisa Devana had, she's certainly frustrated with herself. She'll be a lot happier about that now, but the Matildas had complete control of the game. It was only really a matter of time until they were going to increase their lead.
And Sam Kerr has been very busy, but she hasn't got that goal to her name yet. Kate, I reckon she'll be aiming for that in the second half. Alana Kennedy coming very close there with that header as well.
Yeah, no, she'll be itching to find the back of the net. But, I mean, she's been scoring just dime a dozen every single game. So, I mean, you can't do it all the time. But I have faith in Sammy. I think she'll end up with one by the end of this game.
Jamie, a chance for Alan Stajic perhaps to rotate his bench in the second half, given what we've seen in the first 45?
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if he didn't make a few changes. He wants to give this experience to as many of his players as possible, and looking to rest and refresh players after what has no doubt probably been a very tough training camp. I'm sure the coaching staff will work the players very hard to bulk up those fitness levels. So you expect to see a few substitutions this half.
Yeah, let's take a look at Sam Kerr in that first 45 minutes. She was involved in everything. And as always, she's so proficient on both sides of her body, Kate.
Yeah, I mean, she's such a lively player, and she also brings other people into the game. She's quite unselfish as well when it comes to that. There's been opportunities where she probably could have taken it, and then she's looked to lay it off. And she's had chances. She's been involved in absolutely everything.
That technique on the header too, Jamie, outstanding. That was a textbook, wasn't it?
It is. She's just a fantastic header of the ball, standing alongside another great exponent of that art as well. But she's fearless in the way that she attacks the ball, and that's half the art of heading. And you know, so many goals in the air for such a small player. She's got a great leap and times her jumps very well.
Yeah, she's playing with a smile on her face too, Kate, and you know that playing in front of your family and friends is something that you don't really get a chance to do at international level.
No, it's something you live for, and that's part of the game, and to be able to do it at home in front of your friends and family, then that's a special moment. And I mean, it's the first time that the Matildas have played in WA, so there's 3 girls out there that are WA born and bred, and they'd be loving it.
Yeah, and we're loving it too. The Matildas in action here at NIB Stadium in Perth. We look forward to the second half. Don't go away. Plenty more coming up after this short break. Welcome back to NIB Stadium in Perth on this Monday night. What a treat it is to have the Matildas in action on home soil before they head off for the Asian Cup in Jordan. They lead by 3-0 if you've just joined us. And the rain has joined us as well here in Perth. Very unseasonal, Jamie. I think I've brought it from Melbourne. Katie and I have brought the rain across, but we're looking forward to the next 45. Katie, what do you expect from Alan? We spoke about rotations a little bit, and there's quite a few handy players on the bench for them, including Michelle Heyman, who scored twice for the Matildas last time they played Thailand.
Yeah, look, I think there'll be some changes made in the second half, and Michelle's probably a likely one. She might come up front for Lisa Devana. I mean, she's still recovering from an injury, and she's getting herself back into the fold, so she'll be itching for minutes, definitely.
And I really like what we saw from Elise Keller-Knight, Jamie, in that first half. She got up and down that left-hand side and really penetrated for the Matildas. Exactly what Alan would have asked for, I'd imagine.
Yeah, she's such a capable player in whatever position. I'm sure she probably prefers playing in the central midfield and likes to anchor that. But as a left back, as an emergency left back, she's just got such great feet, really good distribution, and with both sides of the body as well, she's able to deliver a great cross on that occasion.
You talk about her being an emergency left back, Kate. Coming into the tournament, so important for the Matildas to be able to rotate and play in different positions. We saw in the Algarve Cup, Alan Stajic really rotated his side. The games came thick and fast, and he asked his players to play in different positions and to rotate frequently.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what's going to happen at the Asian Cup. I mean, these guys have got to back up every second day, so the more players he has in different positions at his disposal, then it's better for the team, and it just creates that cohesive unit, and then he can draw on many different players in many different areas as well.
All right, just about time to rejoin our commentators, Sarah Rolls and Brenton Speed. Kate and Jamie, thank you. We'll hear from you again at the full time. Speedy, back up to you.
Thanks very much, Zappers. Looks like Australia might be making a change right at the start of the second half. Tamika Butt is ready to join this crew. And the only change from the first half. Chloe Lagazzo, after getting her goal, will be the one to make way.
Number 6, Chloe Lagazzo, being replaced by number 13, Tamika Butt.
Emily Van Egmond, whose dad Gary is the assistant coach. Van Egmond, the captain today, really laying down the law to her team, and Tamika Butt is out there now, the scorer of a very famous goal in 2017, the winner against the United States, the first time ever that Australia had beaten the Americans. Absolutely fantastic support for Thailand tonight as well. They are watching their golden generation, a team on the rise, hoping to go to a second successive World Cup. If they can finish second or first in a group including China, Jordan and the Philippines at next month's Asian Cup, then they will be going to France 2019. Really amazing turnout on a school night here, Monday in Perth. And the rain really came down as heavy as it has all day. In that half-time break, it's eased off a little. And we're ready to get the second half underway. Orotai does just that. Here's Tamika Butt, the replacement at half-time for Chloe Lagazzo, who put in a good 45-minute shift but copped a few knocks, and maybe she felt a little sore in the ankles, and Alan Stajic said no risks.
Yeah, and as we talked about in the halftime break, definitely good to see how fit the likes of Tamika Butt. I think, as we talked about, there will be plenty of changes here. Last opportunity to look at players.
You're able to make 6 changes in total throughout the night. There's the first of them. Chidiac keeping that one alive. It'll have to be dealt with here by Pitsamai, who played it out off Butt.
Well, I think what Alan Stajic will be looking for the second half is watching how the Matildas actually adjust to the tactics of Thailand, and we've talked about it time and time again. They played very, very narrow, but I don't think that the Matildas worked that out quick enough and were able to actually recognise that Thailand had left a huge amount of space out wide. So that might mean that their wide players like Tamika Butt doesn't necessarily start out so wide, but get out there and rotate and allow your fullbacks to actually get around as well. Utilise that space. I don't think they did that to the standard he would have liked in the first half. So let's see if they make that adjustment here.
All the way through to Kerr. Adjusted brilliantly. Played it to Butt. Kerr hit the deck. Blocked off the ball. To her feet quickly. But the attack broke down. Now Polkinghorne finds an angle somehow to Devanna. Put her studies on hold, Claire Polkinghorne, for this semester at least. She's only one semester away from getting her Masters in Criminology and Criminal Justice. Wants to work for the Feds one day. Really clever cookie.
Here's Polks. Now Butt. Chidiac. Kellen Knight. Look how advanced the Aussies are here. Crummer. Trying to slide it through to Davana. Well blocked off by Ratakan, who we haven't seen a lot of tonight, but she's been doing plenty. Try and put her body in the road. Lovely ball, Davana. Allowed Gorry to face forward. Kellen Knight. Neat turning circle. Back to Kennedy. Looking for the big switch. Now towards Davana. Really tidy player, the captain, Sonisa, isn't she? And now, one for Kanjana to chase. Ratikan looking deep. Would have been offside, I fancy, had it found its way through to Tanakan. First real attack to speak of in a long, long time for Thailand.
Well, it was a good build-up play, and again, at the point of that was Kanjana. She's done such a great job at keeping the ball, holding the ball up and waiting for a midfield to support. You'd hate to see what she'd be like with a bit more support higher up the park. You know, they do play that counter-attack so well. You can see Sakanya, number 17. We really haven't been able to see her fully engage and find that space. She's not had a lot of service. She's just basically been doing running in behind to track. The run is going forward.
She is from Thailand's most famous football family. Tanikan Dangda, here she is. That's tidy on the half volley. Scored against Australia in the last meeting between these countries back in 2011. It's an obvious foul by Gorry. Perhaps getting one back on behalf of Chloe Lagazo. She went right through the back of Waruni. And the player booked in this game so far, Thailand's right back. Australia got a couple of quick goals before half-time to make the scoreline represent their dominance. Alan Stajic will be looking for a ruthless second-half performance in the farewell game. Don't forget the Asian Cup opener coming your way on April 7, Saturday week, against South Korea, live on Fox Sports. You can cheer on the Matildas, and then the games come thick and fast every 3 days. And hopefully we see them in the semi-final and the final as they look for more silverware.
There's no better opportunity. I don't think we've actually talked about the fact that North Korea didn't qualify. So it's one huge team that they get to avoid. But I think this team's actually beyond that now, having conversations about who's in tournaments. If they play to their potential and work on their time with the ball a little bit better, they really can take on any opponent. So I think that mindset change for them has been the difference. You can see as they've gone up the rankings, their approach to games has changed.
Gorry able to get it across to Crummer. Davana worked her way back onside. Used Crummer as a decoy. Now Kerr, lovely link up. Davana on the stretch, great goal. Absolutely fabulous from Australia. The Matildas have 4 and Davana has a couple.
Well, the touches here had to be on point, they were. It was absolutely world-class movement from Sam Kerr and Lisa Davana. You could see how tight it was. Little touch here, plays it off first time. And then the finish from Lisa Davana was on point as well. But again, there is absolutely no space in here. No room for error. The run, the timing of the pass was perfect.
And gives us the toe poke finish for goal number 45 for her country. Teed up by Sam Kerr, who is playing provider tonight. No goal yet for Sammy. But Davana's on a hat-trick.
Well, it'll be very difficult for Sam Kerr to create the space she usually has in behind. There's been absolutely none in behind this back line. And so it's required her to use that other element of her game, playing with a back to goal. I think she's really developed that area of her game, her skill on the ball, her ability to be able to hold the ball up under pressure.
Lovely turn by Pigun, but it broke down again. There's Kerr trying to lay one off. What about Gorry? Knocks people over just about each and every time. She's so solid. Mini, 154 centimetres of her. Wooshka, when you grow up with 7 brothers and a sister, it toughens you up, all that backyard football.
You see gravity's on her side. But yeah, she's quite solid. The core strength that she has, she goes through tackles.
Oh, almost in a pickle, the 2 Australian centre halves. Kelvin Knight kept it away from Kanjana. Sam Kerr, often dangerous in this situation. Brilliant from Kerr, trying to play in Gorry. Pigun got it back to her keeper. Clearance only as far as Van Egmond. All too tight in there for Chidiac. There's the Thai substitute now leading the line. Sushawati. And Australia are going to make some more changes now as well. Ellie Carpenter and Laura Alloway are coming on. Van Egmond is off, and Sam Kerr will not score a goal in front of the Perth fans. But listen to the ovation for the young Australian of the year. She's played her part in the goals, but none next to her name, and obviously slated for just 55 minutes tonight.
Yeah, well, she's played a very different role for Australia tonight. She's been on the ball, she's been marked. Closely, it's been very, very tight for her up top.
No blow-up about being substituted. Oh, Gorry on the turn. Half a chance of sticking that one in the top corner. But again, Kerr would have loved to have scored tonight. But she's substituted. There's no petulance. The high five with the coach. We've got bigger plans. We're on to the Asian Cup.
Yeah, that actually says a lot about Sam Kerr, the character of her. I do feel for her. She would have loved to have got a goal. It's been a long time coming. This game in Perth, her family are here. Her entire extended family. Well, she did have a chance with the header in the earlier parts of the match, but she is classy. As you said, that you can look to every player on this pitch. They're here for the greater good.
And she'll sign every autograph asked for tonight, or pose for every selfie, until the fans decide to head home on this school night.
You can see with that changes, we have Ellie Carpenter playing left back.
So used to seeing her in the right back role, of course, and used her right boot there and turned it over sloppily. They were half a chance there, just wouldn't sit for Sushawati. Better from Carpenter, and so slick from Chidiac. Gee, she's been impressive. And now Crummer able to play up forward with all the rotation going on right now. Off to Gorry. Little flick to Devanna. Back post, Carpenter. Really difficult to direct a header on target from there.
Well, the ball needed to be better from Lisa Devanna here. Just needed to be across the face of goal, low and hard. 3 players in the box running onto it. Much Ellie Carpenter can do with that one. But as you said, got Larissa Crummer moved into a favoured 9 position now.
Not the best clearance from Warraporn. No damage done as Pigun finds Orotai, two of the standouts tonight for the team in blue. Likewise, Sunisa, who couldn't quite find her striker. Now the skipper has another crack and does find Sushawati. Alloway in the heart of defence now. Actually in the right back role outside of Polkinghorne. Carpenter. Now Butts. Kellen Knight trying to pull the strings in midfield now. Really are seeing the versatility of this Australian team under Alan Stajic. He wants 2 players for every position and 2 positions for every player.
Well, he's got that, hasn't he? I think for a long time, when I look at the Matildas over the last 5 years, it has been so hard to break into it.
Carpenter wants to get back onto that favoured right boot. Chidiac presents. Great engine she has. Crummer demanding it, and Butt missed it and threw her head back in frustration as well. Came off the wrong part of the boot.
And someone like Ellie Carpenter, we got to watch her for Canberra United this year, and I think the best game that I got to watch her play in was when she played as an attacking mid. I mean, we might not see her play there for the Matildas, but there's probably nowhere that she can't actually play. She played centre-back when Alan Stajic first brought her into the fold. Decided he probably didn't like it there. We had enough stock there. So, I mean, the versatility, you've discussed it. If you want to try break into this Matildas squad, you actually need to be able to play a couple of positions.
Here's Butt playing out wide. I'm used to seeing her in that number 10 role. I just love Kellen Knight in the anchoring midfield role. Now Tavanna opening up the angle here. Tavanna deflection. And that close to a hat-trick. She's relishing the opportunity to go past the hour mark.
Well, had the dip on it, but Nadakan got a touch on it. She's headed this over the bar. Lucky for Thailand. You can see she's cut it in on a favoured foot. It had a great amount of whip on it too. That was going in.
Yep. Credit Nadakan for being willing to head that ball that was travelling from Tavanna. Now Kellen Knight near post delivery. Cut out by Sushawati. Now Kellen Knight delivers again. Alloway and Kennedy underneath it. Shouts for handball. Alloway keeps it in there. And now Warraporn can relieve the pressure. They've been under plenty tonight, Thailand. Lovely skill. Orotai. Got some really tidy players out there.
You can see the way they're playing tonight. We've got a change here.
She's off. The futsal come football player. And replaced by Nipawan. Crummer with the hold-up play. Trying to get on the end of this, Larissa Crummer. Natakan able to get across in time. Maruni playing it out off Carpenter.
Yeah, so back to Thailand. I think we're heading into Jordan for the Asian Cup. I think the way they play here, they obviously have to adjust playing Australia with the speed that we have up top, the ability to really hurt teams in behind. I think not a lot of the Asian teams are able to possess that kind of strength up top. So I think the way they're playing tonight will be really positive for them. They're so good when they defend and keep teams in front.
Carpenter. Back onto the right, bending it, lovely ball. And Tavanna a little late Picking up on the intent from Carpenter. I think she's trying to find a teammate at the back post, or is she going for goal?
Well, it looked like a cross here. You can see she looked to beat, was it Warine? Yeah, that was definitely a cross. You can see she's starting up a little bit higher, Ellie Carpenter. If I can be critical of her, I think especially in Algarve, I think she's really she's trying to get her head around her defensive duties and having that as a starting point. And I think it's such a fine balance with a player as young as her. You don't want to take away her strength in going forward. But it's crucial at the international level that you have that in mind first.
Made her debut as a 15-year-old in that Olympic qualifying tournament a few years back now. Devanna still Devanna. Crummer looking for Chidiac in the middle and couldn't steer that one home from the tight angle.
Well, Lisa Devanna didn't look too... Oh, I've got an injury here from Warine. You can see this is completely stolen from Lisa Devanna here. She was going to get in on that next touch. What's happened with Warine here?
She got winded by that, chesting it away, and had to be there to keep it away from her opposite number, but it hit her absolutely flush around the sternum area and knocked the wind out of it.
She's done an excellent job.
Well done by Warraport. I think Waruni will appreciate it. Stretch it out.
Whatever works.
Right on the number. And she appreciates the crowd's reaction to that replay that I think might go viral.
It was an interesting approach to sorting that out. Good to see it back up.
Alloway goes to meet it. There's Kellen Knight's class. Kills it for Gorry. Alloway crossing all the way through to Butt with the adventurous attempt to finish.
Well, Butt really hasn't been able to play herself into this match at the moment, I think, especially because she's actually been playing in the 10 role for the Matildas for a while now. It's quite rare that she'd be playing out wide. I think she's probably trying to work out. She doesn't have any space, and getting in behind isn't an option, so she's a little bit lost.
That's better from Carpenter, adding real impetus to this attack. And they get a corner at the end of it all off Pizzamai.
That was better play there. Combination between Ellie Carpenter and Butt.
Kellen Knight taking the corners from both sides. Will be the outswinger this time. Meeting it was Alloway. There's Polkinghorne with pace. Got there first. Chidiac always an option for teammates to find. Now Crummer. It'll be another corner. They really are racking up now for Australia. None at the other end, and 7 for the Aussies.
You can see some tired legs here from Thailand. Really no urgency to get out, defend this corner.
Kellen Knight again. Just eluded Crummer at that near post, and again there's a foul on the keeper.
There's various threats for the Matildas up top. You can see Laura Alloway, Alana Kennedy, Claire Polkinghorne, Larissa Crummer all have great height. These things matter in a tournament, especially in Asia. I know the Matildas have definitely been working on their set pieces, trying to get that a little bit better, not just in attack and defence.
Yeah, they played an incredible game against Norway at the Algarve Cup, a 7-goal thriller, which Crummer scored the winner in. Kennedy under pressure and turned it over. Holkinghorn bails her out. Again, got class. The left back and captain, Sunisa. And she's had moments to showcase it. It's been there for all to see. That's why she gets the prized number 10 shirt for her country. Technically gifted player. So into the final quarter of the 90. Australia hunting their biggest ever win over Thailand, which is 5-0. That was 12 years ago now in that 2006 Asian Cup in Adelaide, when the lady alongside me was amongst the goal scorers with Lisa Devanna.
It is such a very, very different looking team for Thailand. They were so unorganised back then, and when you talked about the program, there's been a huge amount of investment from their association. But you could just see they're so much more conditioned.
Devanna still going. How often has she worked her way past players like that? Advantage played to Chidiac. Kelwyn Knight didn't sense Kanjana coming. Still retrieved the situation. Now Kelwyn Knight, look at that. Beautiful 1-2. Chance, Chidiac could have had a double. Came to her really quick and couldn't adjust to get the right kind of strike.
Oh, that was lovely to watch. The combinations here on the edge of the box. Tinelli Carpenter, she's done an excellent job on the left-hand side here. See the run and the finish wasn't good enough in the end from Chidiac. But again, they've been able to break open this very, very tight block of 8. This is going to be very, very important to be able to manage that. Vietnam will play very, very similar football.
It's Kelwyn Knight, time to get her head up again. But keeps it alive. Gorry back to Kennedy. Australia will look to keep the ball moving quickly here. Devanna had it poked away. Kelwyn Knight says, I'll tidy up for you. Least, don't worry about it. Out to Butt. Looking for the feet of Devanna. Gorry swings the boot at it, and Warraporn, how well did she do to tip it over the bar? Katrina Gorry on her left. Doesn't matter which side it's on, she hits them sweet.
Oh, she's got a serious amount of power in this, not dealt with from Thailand, but Warraporn, she really is a stalwart for this team. Something like 84 caps, Speedy. She's definitely kept this scoreline respectable.
Yeah, read it well. Gorry might have thought she'd done enough when it came off that left boot so sweetly. A star with the Brisbane Roar down the years. Played for a few W League clubs, but of course Brisbane won the Premier's Plate, but couldn't qualify for the grand final last season. Great delivery. Oh, must be a goal. It is. Might be an own goal. But the delivery from Alloway, who took over from Kelwyn Knight, made all the difference there, and Australia have 5. Larissa Crummer, is it her goal?
Thailand are actually appealing for a handball here.
It's Kennedy onto Crummer off her shoulder, knew nothing about it, and says to Kennedy, can I have this goal? I think it will be hers. Watch the quick deflection here. Kennedy onto Crummer off the shoulder, that's fine.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
I don't think a VAR would even take that one off you, would they?
I think that's fair. You're saying Larissa Crummer gets this one.
Her 4th goal for her country. And she was a big story on W League Grand Final day. Left out of the match day squad altogether by Paddy Kisnorbo, even though she trained with the Matildas that day. So good enough for the national team starting today, but couldn't even make the bench with Melbourne City.
Well, it's a really good point you make, because look, without understanding the background to that, obviously they'd actually had a winning team, to be fair to Melbourne City. They had a winning team and they stuck to it, and Larissa Crummer couldn't break into it. But look, it's one of those situations where some players flourish under different coaches and different environments, and Larissa Crummer seems to do that with the national team.
Sushawati still took on maybe one too many. Could have got the pass out to Rata Khan, who's run herself into the ground and deserved to be rewarded there. Yeah, it's been a tough period for Crummer, not just missing out on that grand final, but also being waived or cut by the Seattle Rain in the United States. So this opportunity to get into camp with the Aussies is most welcome, and maybe her luck's turning, judging by that goal.
Yeah, and I might say Alan Stagic's had a big hand in that, because he's, without seeing her play for a very long time throughout the W League, put a lot of faith in her to be able to come into camp. And, you know, when some could say she might not deserved it. So, and look, and she's rewarded him with his performance tonight. But I think he's actually done a really good thing. Can't imagine what her frame of mind would have been, losing her position with Seattle, not being able to break into the Melbourne City team. I think she's got some tough decisions next W League.
Gorry has another go from even longer range. Thrust forward towards Crummer. Australia are preparing another double change here. And that'll be 5 of their 6 maximum out of the way. But the ball won't go out. Kennedy to Gorry.
We haven't even talked about Kaya Simon tonight.
Yeah.
He's out with a hamstring injury, probably looking good to get back for Jordan. I mean, there's a serious amount of depth in this Matildas squad right now.
Yeah, Hayley Razzo, another one. The ball's finally out of play, so we can see that double change now. Michelle Heyman and Ivy Lewick about to join the party. And what an occasion this is for the 33-year-old Ivy Lewick, her first cap since 2015. So many hamstring troubles for her. Born in Perth, raised on the Gold Coast. A record number of W League Grand Final appearances, 6 of those. It's great to see her back.
Oh, look, she'd be very emotional right now. Various emotions going on for her. It's so great to see her back. She had chronic hammy injuries for a couple of years. We hadn't seen her for a couple of years. No football, no professional football at that. So to see her back here at this level, pretty touching.
Winning it back already for her team. Missed out on the 2011 World Cup, missed out on the 2015 World Cup. Now, suddenly, the 2019 World Cup is on the horizon, and everyone would be most pleased if Ivy Lewick was able to appear on that stage. She's anchoring midfield here, the number 3. Carpenter. Dynamic move inside, but first touch let her down. Couldn't find Devanna out on the left wing. Michelle Heyman now leading the line after replacing Crummer. Heyman scored 2 last time these teams met in 2011 in that 5-1 victory in China. That was an Olympic qualifying match for London 2012. Australia didn't go to that one, of course, but they performed so well at the 2016 Olympics and want to be part of each and every major tournament. Here is Heyman. Neat little move. Punches it to Gorry. Those 2 regular roommates as well. Great friends off the pitch. Alloway. Back to Gorry. Looking for Heyman, almost all the way through. Good stretch by Pizzamai. The Matilda's really squeezing in here, but Kennedy can't keep them on the front foot.
Another thing I'm loving about this rotation, you look at Michelle Heyman, Sam Kerr, Larissa Crummer, they all play that 9 position so very different. And I think that unpredictability for other teams is an advantage to the Matildas.
Heyman again makes it stick. Here's Lewick. Devanna, clever. Let it roll to Carpenter, who should have taken another touch, perhaps.
You can already see Ivy Lewick, the influence she's had on this match, controlling the midfield. I think she's going to be so important in Jordan. I think she's having another older head who's been there and done it. And what you get with Ivy Lewick is you know exactly what you're going to get. She's such a safe player. She'll very rarely lose the ball.
Look at that distribution as well. On the left side to find Chidiac. He's trying to play in Michelle Heyman, which she played in 3 grand finals for the Brisbane Roar. She's played in all 3 for Melbourne City. So she's won her fair share as well.
And I'm going to say, of all the players that I ever played with, and I'd like to single her out, she is an amazing person. So good to have her around the team, and I think that's why it was a very easy decision for Alan Stajic to bring it back.
Kanjana, the Thai fans, hopeful of seeing a goal at their end.
Oh, she's been so busy. The amount of the work that Kanjana has had to go through without the ball to make sure she's an option for a team going forward.
Look at this move from Devanna. Broken up by Pigun. Outside of the boot, Kanjana gets there, ahead of Kennedy. Is this their moment? And look who's back there, Ivy Lewick, shielding and protecting her back 4. Last line of defence she was in the end, and she earns the free kick.
Well, this run here from Kanjana was absolutely gorgeous. She attacked the space and she had to. She just couldn't get that touch in front of Ivy Lewick. And as you said, Speedy, the work rate already from Ivy Lewick.
Born to Hungarian and Swedish parents, Ivy Lewick, a name of Estonian origins. Born in Perth, raised on the Gold Coast, and she's lived around the world as well. Really cultured individual, not just on the football pitch. Carpenter, clever ball. Heyman's onside, in space. Carpenter saw that. And Heyman a little late pulling the trigger, but she saw Butts to make a butt. Well done, Warraport. Covered her angles. Again, dynamic stuff from Australia moving forward. And Butt, after taking the shot, wins it back. That's better from Kennedy. Vanna too much on it. Never scored a hat-trick amongst all those goals. Could she get it tonight after waiting all these years to play in Perth?
Well, she's had plenty of opportunities to do so, especially earlier on in her career.
And in the halftime interview with Michael Saponi, she said she should have had a first-half hat-trick tonight.
Yeah. Quite easily.
Rata Khan gets away from Sushawati. No change in goal tonight. Lydia Williams going the journey, it appears. In fact, that's been confirmed. Now, Australia have one more change up their sleeve, and it's going to be Caitlin Cooper, who will be the 6th and final substitution. Kanjana doesn't give up the chase. Coolly done by Kennedy. And Williams, what an effort that was, with the outside of the right boot to get it upfield. Most keepers would have punted that into the stands. She managed to find a teammate in Gorry. After not having to do a lot tonight, that's class from Lydia.
see Thailand, they've done such a good job tonight at really limiting the amount of times they're exposed in the back line or where they don't have screening or support in front of their back four. I think they've really, although it's 5-0, might sound silly, but I think they've done a really good job tonight at I guess, executing the game plan against Australia. Very rarely has an Australian player been able to get in behind their back line.
This is invaluable experience for Nguyen Gru Thai to take away and show her team the video, maybe an extensive video session, to get ready for the Cutthroat Asian Cup.
And the times that they actually did get beaten down especially down the right-hand side where Waruni misread the play and actually got caught out. But other than those small individual errors, I think as a collective they've been really good. It's been a great game here for Katrina Gorry.
Another reshuffle. Caitlin Cooper comes on after playing for Sydney FC last W League season, a former Wanderer as well. She goes into the heart of defence. Alana Kennedy gets to show off her midfield ability. Lewick. But trying to get there and got away from the sliding challenge of Ratakan. 90 minutes for Chidiac tonight. Alloway. Good early ball. Kennedy getting forward. And the header just looping harmlessly to Warapon. She was a midfielder, wasn't she, Alana Kennedy?
She was. Yeah, Alan Stajic again back with Sydney FC, brought her into the fray, and she's another one with amazing aerial ability, the technique that she has, the power that she gets generates it from her hips. It's not just her head. The kids watching, very difficult to do.
Polkinghorn trying to thread one around the corner to Heyman. Chidiac picks up the second ball. Here's Butt, something brewing here. Devanna was screaming for it. Kennedy. Ivy Lewick. Chidiac again, determination to get there first. Such tidy skills as well. Carpenter looking for Heyman. Again, Thailand defend it well. Looked like a really solid unit on that occasion. Then given away by Shush Awadi. Kennedy.
You can see, imagine having your centre back with the skills of a midfielder. I really don't doubt that if she had continued playing in the midfield, she could possibly rival the likes of Emily Van Egmond, but I think just situation has it that Matildas actually require her in the centre-back role.
Heyman taking on all comers here. Gets some support from Alloway, who keeps it alive somehow. Ratakan gave it back to her, but then Alloway turned it over as well. Has to chase hard the other way. That ball wasn't on. Lewick pounced. And Pigoon. Kamjana. Ratakan is a tired lady out there on the left wing. Devanna, can she get that hat-trick? Tries to honour the run of Carpenter. Now she goes. Devanna was hoping for the 1-2 from Heyman, but it got all too tight again. Cooper to Lewick, shielding it away expertly from Kanjana. Classy from Devanna. What about that little deflection? Straight out in front of Carpenter. Whips one deep, and Chidiac optimistically attacked it.
You can see Thailand have really tested Australia this last 10 minutes. it's kind of required the Matildas to be a little bit more creative, and a lot of times they have been actually running out of options. Has been a good hit out all in all.
Silawan has run herself into the ground. Here come 2 more changes for the visitors. Relay Pawn out there in the number 20. And Sawaluk. She deserves a rest. Radhakan. So much work defensively for her. Would prefer to be getting forward. Had to track back and help out her back 4.
I don't think, all things considered, it's a 30 ranking versus a 6. I think they've been amazing tonight, and I think a performance like this would actually take them through to the World Cup. I think they've been so well disciplined. Their shape really very, very hard to actually pull them out of position to break them down.
Chidiac just behind Heyman, but she was clipped after playing that pass. And again, the lead-up work of Ivy Lewick just to get this team ticking. What a player she is. And she's going to be a backup to a Kellen Knight or a Van Egmond in that defensive midfield role, but she will get game time at the Asian Cup, and such an impressive player to watch.
I have no doubt. And look, let's be honest, I think that I know Ivy Lewick herself wouldn't be going into an Asian Cup thinking that she's just going to be a backup. She will push Emily Van Egmond to be better. Otherwise, she's knocking on the door for the position.
And let's hope the likes of Steph Catley, Kai Simon, Hayley Razzo and Emily Gilnick will be fit and available. Otherwise, Alan Stajic will have to find replacements for the 23-player squad. Alloway winding up. Laura Alloway, and it was dipping on Waraport, who's done as well as she could do tonight, even though 5 have gone into the back of the net. Can't really say she's at fault for any of those, and she's kept plenty out. How much stoppage time for Australia to try and get their biggest ever win over Thailand, and they're 1 goal away from that. Cooper just finds the angle to Carpenter. Kennedy having to turn inside. Didn't give away a free kick. Here comes another booking. Second yellow card of the evening. Nipperwan for that little tug of the shorts goes into the book. Pretty central here. Ivy Lewick chips one up. Alloway got on the end of it. Now one for Heyman to go out in the 50-50. Well read by Carpenter, stepped up at the right time. And then Chidiac. Alan Stajic with some coaching instructions on the run for Ellie Carpenter about which foot to be using in certain situations.
Well, I think she's doing pretty good playing left back. You can see she does have a tendency to cut in onto her right, which really changes the intent of the attack for the Matildas. Very rarely will she be looking to go down the byline to get a cross in. I don't expect we'll see her play there much in Jordan.
One final surge from Thailand. Sawaluk. Early ball wasn't on. Lewick reading it like a book. Now Chidiac, what's left in the tank? In stoppage time. Kennedy. Chidiac won't track that one down. First time tonight, Australia haven't been able to really surge in good numbers. Devanna, though, still working overtime to try and win it back. Cooper. Tamika Butt. Final 90 seconds of the night. It's a joy for football fans to watch this Australian team. The rotation, the different positions they're all turning up in tonight. So well coached and drilled. All know the jobs they have to do in certain situations. Thailand playing out from the back here. Devanna was sniffing around for that hat-trick. And now Lewick can maybe play her in. Devanna. Lewick back to Kennedy. Heyman wants it early. Oh, risky, adventurous. And Lewick! Heyman! Denied by Warraporn. Fabulous goalkeeping, and Alloway blazes over. Well, credit the Thai keeper. Absolutely fantastic, putting her body on the line and preventing a sixth.
She's been absolutely outstanding tonight. Warraporn, again, you can see she gets up to apply the pressure to Michelle Heyman, but over the bar here from Alloway, there is no doubt, without Warraporn in goals, the scoreline would not look like this.
Waruni is off, and a few seconds, literally a few seconds for Inon. Can she get a touch? Here's her moment. Yes, Inon gets a touch in the 95th minute. Credit Kate Jakowitz for letting the clock go a little bit longer. Allowing the substitute to get that touch. So the Matildas say farewell in style. Lisa Devanna with a double. And they equal their biggest ever win over Thailand. Now it's on to the Asian Cup. Can they lift that trophy again, just like they did in 2010? We wish them well in Jordan. The opening game coming up on Saturday week against South Korea. You can cheer them on there, and plenty have tonight in Perth. Full time at NIB Stadium. It's Australia 5, Thailand 0. No goal for Sam Kerr tonight, but Perth's own Lisa Devanna got a couple. Holkinghorn, terrific at the back. Chloe Lagazzo was impressive. She got on the score sheet in the first half before making way after a little knock. And Alex Chidiac scored her first international goal. She's with Zappers.
She is indeed, and she's over the moon, and she says she's pretty tired too. Speedy, a tough 90 minutes of work rate for you out there. How did you find that experience tonight in front of the home crowd?
Oh, it was amazing in front of the home crowd. I haven't played a game for the Matildas in Australia before, so it was an amazing atmosphere, and yeah, just a pleasure to be on the field.
And flying the flag for South Australia as well. I know you're technically born in Sydney, but we'll call you a South Aussie, won't we?
Oh, definitely Adelaide girl, for sure.
And the first Matilda since Di Allegich to represent the Matildas at a major tournament. Talk to us about the feeling of going over to the Asian Cup and what that means to you.
Oh, it means everything to me. You know, I've been working for this my whole life pretty much, so I'm just ready to get out there and try and give my best for Australia.
Talk about working for it all your life. I hear your dad was a pretty big influence when you were growing up and showed you the way.
A little bit. I mean, he'll be boasting about it for sure, but yeah, no, it's my whole family really getting behind me and supporting me throughout it all.
Talk to us about playing with some of these experienced players that we're seeing tonight. Lisa Devanna about to join us as well, and what have they been able to teach you over the last few months?
I think just training with the girls and being in the squad in and out, you learn so much being in this environment, and anyone can tell you that. So I'm just, yeah, I'm really happy to be here, and I'm learning so much.
Well done tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, Lisa Devanna is our player of the match. Lisa, this is for the second time tonight I get to chat to you. How lucky am I? $2,000 thanks to NAB. Well done. And we know you were itching for that third goal, working hard for it.
Yeah, you know, it'd be nice to score a third goal, but to score 2 goals, it's nice to do it at home, and it's great that I'd be able to do it in front of friends and family.
Is it right that you never scored a hat-trick at international level?
No, I haven't, but lucky I've got a few more years to do that, so...
Well, any more. We'd like to look forward to seeing you in action for many more years to come. Talk to us about the Asian Cup and what you're expecting over there.
Yeah, look, this game was a good build-up towards Jordan. You know, we're obviously going out there to win it. I truly believe that we're a team that can do it, and hopefully we go out and play the style of football that we can, and come back with the trophy.
We saw plenty of girls get the opportunity tonight. A lot of depth in that squad. That must be really pleasing to see.
Yeah, look, it's always good to have depth because it gives a bit of competition for other players, and it's always pushing players for the starting 11. But overall, there's a few players that are injured that need to get into the team, and they have to fight for it now. So, which is what we always wanted.
Plenty of depth there. Well done tonight.
Thank you.
Yep, terrific performance from the Aussies. And Claire Polkinghorne, who played her 100th game for her country at the Algarve Cup, is now being acknowledged for that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
receiving recognition of it, the match ball from that day, signed by the team. And Polk's such a popular figure. And we can have a look at the 5 goals scored by Australia tonight. Walshy, it all started through Alex Chidiac.
Well, they'd been applying the pressure, hadn't they? And although this one was offside, you could see Crummer had the intent to make the run around. The ball in was beautiful. Questionable handball, but no one's going to take that away from Alex Chidiac. She was outstanding tonight. Absolutely stunning.
Just a metre or so offside, but Crummer was allowed to play on. And as Alex Chidiac said, her first ever game on home soil. Her previous 7 internationals have been overseas. And then the roommates got involved. Lagazzo teed up to Vanna, and she returned the favour soon after as Australia went bang-bang before the break.
And you can see the aggressive run and the intent there from Chloe Lagazzo. They'd really struggled to break open this defensive line. Here, looked up, played it in. And again, it was a great header. Attacked again by Chloe Lagazzo, who had an excellent game.
And you thought maybe this is Sam Kerr's ball, and then Lagazzo said, no, I'm having that. Attacked it. And you couldn't wipe the smile off her face, although she was pretty angry when Wairuni cleaned her up a few times and copped the yellow card. Look at this link-up play. These are 2 of the exciting players. The West Aussies combined. Kerr to Devanna, and she had a double.
And this was the best thing to watch tonight, the combinations in around the box in really tight areas, and you can't get that wrong. And that's what happens when you get it right.
And a Romario-like toe poke from Devanna. And then this one, Kennedy looked around and said, did that come off you, Larissa? And Crummer said, yep, I'll have to take that one. It is Crummer's goal. Her 4th for her country. And Australia had 5, and that's the way it stayed. A comprehensive victory. And off to the Asian Cup they go. And off to the panel we go. Zappers, down to you.
Thank you, Speedy. And joining us for our post-game, Kate Gill, Jamie Harwell, and the coach of the Matildas, Alan Stadgett, joins us. Thanks, Alan, for joining us. What did you make of the performance? Pretty pleased with the way the team went about it?
Oh, look, there's some pleasing parts. There was obviously some things that I wasn't pleased with. I thought we started off really well, and then, the longer the game, that first half rolled on, I thought we got into the tempo that was just too slow and almost into the rhythm of their game rather than our game. So, look, there was a good 5-minute spell there again where we got into a nice rhythm and tempo, and there's some good patches in the second half. But I just think we can control the game a little bit better in terms of speed and quality that we've got, and moving the ball a little bit quicker than what we did during those periods.
And you had that last 10 minutes you spoke of in that first half where you scored those couple of goals. Is that what you're referring to? More of what you wanted to see there?
Yeah, they were such simple goals. The ball just moved quickly. There was 1-2 touch, move the ball quickly, run off the ball quickly, which is what we're good at. And whenever we did that, we carved them open. But there just wasn't enough of that in that 30-minute period, probably from the 5th to the 35th, 40th minute. So, look, there were some pleasing parts. No injuries. Chloe Lagazzo copped a little bit of a knock at half-time, but nothing serious. So, good to get away from the game and give everyone a run, which is all important things.
And Lisa, such a competitor, like she just keeps going. I think it might have been a bit frustrating for her early on, but I think she had a fantastic game, and it was an unselfish game by her. She really brought people into the fold. Are you really pleased with her?
Yeah, for sure. I thought she started off poorly, and the first 20-30 minutes she wasn't up to speed, and you know, she certainly coughed the ball up a lot and missed some of those chances, but the longer the game went on, she really grew some confidence and got that goal, and she was probably unlucky not to get 3 or 4 in the end, but her competitiveness, her drive, her motivation to keep going to the end was really pleasing, as you mentioned. So I thought it was a really good game from her in the end, which is what we want.
Alan, defensively, the team wasn't troubled too much. There's probably a 10-minute spell in the second half where Thailand was able to exert a little bit more pressure, given the more competitive nature of the teams you're going to be facing. Is that something that needs to be looked at a little bit further? Yeah,
look, for sure. We'll have another internal hit out amongst ourselves and test our BPO a little bit more. But look, we did everything we had to do. There was a couple of times there on counter-attacks where we were caught out, and you're right, if it was against better opposition, maybe the outcome would be a little bit different. But look, it's sometimes hard in those kinds of games. You're pushing forward and you're wanting to get more goals, but certainly we have to be aware of that transition, and there was a couple of times where certainly we weren't.
Talk to us about Alex Chidiac. I just spoke to her post-game. She was over the moon, and a young player that we love seeing young players come through, but someone who's really just on the beginning of her journey as a senior player. What do you like about her? What does she add, in your view, to this team?
Look, I think she's a lovely little technical player, which are the kinds of midfielders I like. She's very coachable, which is probably the most pleasing part about her makeup. She's always there to learn. She's working hard. She's come from Adelaide. We haven't had a lot of Adelaide players in, so it's good for her to step up to this level and be able to compete with players at training and always looking to learn and improve. And again, you know, if she does that over the next 2-3 years, there's no reason why she can't be a regular starting player within this team.
Before we let you go, what's next? The next few days you spend in camp here before you head off?
Yeah, we'll have a recovery day tomorrow, but certainly the video will come out, so the players will be very happy with that. But look, we're just going to keep working on our game, and we've got another 4 or 5 days here in Australia before we get to Jordan, and then there's 6 days in Jordan before our first match.
Well, we wish you all the best when you head over there, and we'll be watching and cheering for you.
Appreciate it, Zappers.
All right, Alen Stajic joining us, the coach of the Matildas, and we've got, Jamie, plenty of chances in that second half, didn't we, have for the Matildas? Let's have a look at them now. They continued where they left off at that back end of that first half. They finished strongly, and what we saw in the second half was a lot more of an attacking flow football that Alan mentioned that he wanted to see.
Yeah, they did, and the Matildas were able to push Thailand back further and further. They had to take a couple of really good combinations in order to get that next goal. They huffed and puffed it a little bit early, but there was never any doubt there was going to be more goals in this second half, and Lisa Devana with a lovely little 1-2 with Sam Kerr was able to produce that little bit of magic that pulled apart Thailand. But certainly a very dominant performance from the Matildas, and maybe a little bit disappointed they didn't score more goals.
And Larissa Crummer getting that goal. We'll probably try and chat to her a little bit later, Kate, but great for her. She'd been missing the grand final. She'd been missing from the Matildas for a little while, and that'll do her confidence a world or two.
Yeah, I think so. I think Alana helped her out there. I think she headed it into her, but she'll claim it anyway. But yeah, no, it's great to see Larissa back on the pitch and back in the green and gold. I mean, obviously W League probably wasn't a highlight for her, but her to be back there, it'll be confidence building for her.
Terrific, and Sam Kerr was all over it tonight, and she joins us at the pod now. And Sam, thanks for joining us. We know that you were taken off in the 55th minute. Alen Stajic has just joined us. Have you spoken to him about that substitution at all yet?
No, I haven't. Obviously, coming off in front of my home crowd, not ideal, but there's bigger fish to fry. You know, we've got the Asian Cup coming up, and I've been injury prone the last few years, so he's probably protecting me, but no player likes being taken off.
No spitting the dummy like Bessar Richard did a couple of weeks ago for Melbourne victory?
Definitely not. No. There's many good players on our team that can go on and make a difference.
Very good.
Sam, obviously a very, very proud West Aussie. What does it mean to you to see such a crowd here, to watch Matildas for the first time and really showcase for yourself, I suppose, what women's football is all about in Australia now?
Yeah, it's amazing to bring the Matildas to Perth. Number one is huge. To play in front of family and friends is amazing. And yeah, it's awesome to see the crowd get behind us. So it's a proud moment for me, Lisa, and Lids, who's originally from WA, will claim her. So yeah, it's just a proud moment for not only me, but the team to finally come out and, you know, play in front of the whole of Australia rather than just Sydney and Melbourne.
And then Sam, obviously heading to Jordan, the Matildas are now favourite. I guess that's an unfamiliar position for us going into an Asian Cup, but that's usually exciting. I guess the girls are really kind of buzzing around the vibe and the whole team at the moment.
Yeah, it's a new thing being favourites. We prefer to be underdogs, I think, being Aussie, but no, we'll take it. And look, we're going there to qualify for the Asian Cup, for the World Cup, and then win the Asian Cup. So anything less and we'll be disappointed, but I'm very confident in the group.
And how do you feel about your game today?
Yeah. Oh, look, I thought I was a bit quiet, but that's all right. Look, I combined well with the forwards and felt like I had a good impact on the game, and that's all you can ask. You don't have to score every game, so I was happy with it.
Yeah, we were happy with that header, although you didn't force the keeper into too much of a difficult save, but you linked up well with Lisa and with Chloe and set up this great opportunity. Just talk to us about that front third and the patience required, especially in that first half, because they sat pretty deep, didn't they?
Yeah, it's a different game when someone drops against you, and especially with our forward line, you know, we're all pace, so it's a different game. You've got to start playing football and use your brain a little bit more. So, yeah, it's a difficult challenge, but, you know, most teams in the world won't do that to us. But, yeah, we back ourselves in any situation, and I think we showed that tonight.
We've spoken about the depth of this team, and if you look at the players who play up front, Kerr, Crummer, Heyman, all very different styles as well. Is that something that Ellen's asked you to do, just to rotate things and test your opponents?
Yeah, a little bit, but also just be ourselves. And I think we're all such different players, and that shows on the field. But, you know, Stadge is all about, you know, creativity in the front third. And tonight it wasn't as good in the first half, but I think, you know, we picked it up a little bit. And to play career in Japan, we've got to be a bit better than we were tonight. So a few steps up for the Asian Cup.
Yep. And the focus now shifts, Sam, to the Asian Cup. A couple more days here before you do go over. You've spoken a little bit about the expectations. I mean, how difficult can you see this tournament being? You know, you've been there before. The Matildas have won it before. It's the first senior title that any Australian side has won. How big is this if you can go over and do it again?
Oh, it's huge, and it's not going to be easy no matter the form we're in or no matter how good people are playing. You know, last time we lost by 1 goal, and Japan's a world-class team. Korea's right up there, and we don't take it lightly at all. So it's a big tournament, it's a huge tournament, and the last 2 times I've been have been really, really difficult. So I'm not taking it lightly, and I hope the girls are in the same mind frame. But we're really confident, but, you know, we still kind of have that underdog feel.
Special night for you tonight too, walking out. I'm told that you walked out with your niece, is that right?
Yeah, Lola. I was so excited about that. Yeah, she's 6 years old and she's just started playing football, so it's good. It's a good week for her.
So she's going to be coached by Auntie Kerr?
No way. I'm not getting into coaching.
Well, if she learns a little bit off you, she'll be doing very well, I would imagine. Well done tonight, and congratulations on what's been a great year for you, and good luck at the Asian Cup.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us, Sam. Elise Kellen-Knight has been terrific for the Matildas over the last couple of years, and Katie, we spoke about her in the first half and her penetration down that left-hand side, and talk to us about what she adds to this 11.
Yeah, look, KK is a world-class player. I mean, I don't think she gets the credit she deserves. She's fantastic technically. Her distribution and her vision is just brilliant, and she kind of anchors that back line, and then she's got the vision and she's got the capability, and she brings players into the game. So I don't think I've ever seen Elise have a bad game for the Matildas.
Jamie, someone that no doubt you've known over the last couple of years as well. That experience we've spoken about, one of the key players come the Asian Cup.
Yeah, certainly, and as an opposition coach and trying to combat what Kellen-Knight can bring to a team is very difficult, because she is the complete package in terms of playing. And the experience that she's got, the leadership that she has within the group, it is plain to see, and she'll be a massive key for the Matildas going forwards.
All right, Larissa Crummer joins us now. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks for having me.
Now, we're crediting you with a goal. Did you know much about it?
Look, it came off my shoulder, but at the time, look, I'll claim it.
Yeah, and every goal counts, especially at international level. Just talk to us a little bit about your season this year. We know things didn't go according to plan for you in the W League and the grand final. You weren't included in the squad. How difficult was that for you to get through that period?
I think mentally it was quite a challenge for me. Going to training every day, and I was always performing as well as I could. And, you know, at the end of the day, I wasn't playing, but, you know, I always kept pushing and always kept my head up.
And a huge vote of confidence shown in you by Ellen Stadge to get you to the Asian Cup?
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely a big confidence boost that I needed. So,
yeah.
And Larissa, obviously foreign playing in the back today, but everybody's a bit versatile in this team. How do you feel?
I've played right back with Stadge actually in my first W League season, so it wasn't that new to me, but it's been a while. But I felt good, and like I love playing there, and I love playing. So.
And then looking forward to the Asian Cup, Larissa, obviously a huge opportunity, and this place is up for grabs. How do you see yourself leading into that, and your position in the squad going into the Asian Cup?
I think no one's safe. We always push each other at training, and we always want to keep pushing each other to do better. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's Stadge's decision, and if you're training well, you're going to play.
Terrific. We look forward to seeing you in action at the Asian Cup, and thanks for joining us tonight.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Larissa Crummer joining us. So the Asian Cup is coming your way. It's not too far away here on Fox Sports. It commences with the Matildas taking on South Korea. That's on Sunday, the 8th of April, and you'll see all the games live here on Fox Sports. It promises to be a terrific tournament. The Matildas go into this one as favourites, and deservedly so, given their ranking in world football. They then take on Vietnam on Wednesday, the 11th of April. Set the alarm clocks for 2:45 Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time, and Vietnam will prove a test. And then a big test against Japan. Speedy spoke about it during the call, Kate. This is not an easy group. It's some quality opposition for the Matildas. Game 3 on the 13th of April.
Yeah, that's going to be the do-or-die clash. I mean, the Japanese, as I mentioned before, are in a bit of a rebuilding phase at the moment, but they're technically one of the best teams to watch, and the Matildas are really going to have to be on their game.
And another motivation, of course, Jamie, in this tournament, as the rain comes and joins us again, is World Cup qualification. Not something we've touched on much, but if they do well here, they get through to the World Cup.
Yeah, certainly something that can't be taken for granted either. It is a difficult group. There's difficult games coming up. That double chance is certainly a motivating factor, but knowing Alan Stajic and the group, they'll want to go and win the Asian Cup. The thought that they might not qualify for the World Cup wouldn't be in their minds.
Yeah, there's plenty more coming here, as well as the Asian Cup on Fox Sports. The Socceroos are in action against Colombia. Gee, this is a test, isn't it? Colombia beat France a few days ago in France. Can the Socceroos improve from their first outing under their new manager? You'll see all the action live from Craven Cottage in London on Wednesday morning. Then it's on Thursday, just for kicks, Tara, Robbie, Macca and Archie, followed by the Perth Glory back here at NIB Stadium on Thursday night. They were good yesterday against Melbourne Victory. Can they back it up with a win against Sydney FC? And then on Good Friday, football at Adelaide takes on Wellington Phoenix. The Reds, how impressive were they last weekend with their 5-2 win in the A-League? They're at Cooper Stadium for that one against the Knicks, and they're really working well, the Reds, at the right time of the season. Looks like they'll play final football. A win against the Knicks will put them in the box seat. Katie, Jamie, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Appers.
And we'll get out of the rain. Thank you for joining us. The Matildas were outstanding tonight. A terrific display of football by a very talented group of young ladies. We look forward to bringing you the Asian Cup here on Fox Sports. From me, Michael Zapponi, Kate Gill and Jamie Harmwell, it's goodbye from Perth.